have always felt God's presence in my life even back when I was a child. But I really didn't know Him until I invited Him to my life. It is free and it is for you too, and this is my way of presenting God. We really don't know what that presence means until we invite Him in our hearts. Jesus is my mentor. I realize more and more, if I just take baby steps, I'll be fine. My name is Aida K. I am Armenian and I was born in Ethiopia. I grew up very, very insecure, very scared of people, peer. And I think that took me over all the way towards my whole journey of life. It made me insecure, it made me afraid, it made me to a point where I couldn't even look at you to talk. I was always looking down. My parents, they were arranged marriage. Dad from Ethiopia, mom from Syria. They made an arrangement marriage with pictures. I believe as a child, when we grow up, something happens that totally takes your thoughts, your life away. I became scared is because the in the neighborhood, a man that molested me. I believe because of that, my innocence was gone already. I believe because of that, I became closed, I became shy. Even I remember in school in Ethiopia, after whatever happens, going to the school, I would wet myself. Because not right then or then, but a fear of, okay, I don't want the teacher to call my name. I don't want this and I don't want that. That fear. I used to wet myself. When I was around 11 years old, we moved to New York and put into public school. I looked like different to the American kids. I had eyebrows to here, hair under my arms, hair on my legs. My wardrobes were totally different. So I was ridiculed left and right, laughed at.
Aida really didn't travel much. She was very protected as a child growing up. She didn't venture out on her own, other than from home and to school, from what I remember. Even having going to work in Manhattan in her late teens, her sister would have to go pick her up from work. So she was not really on her own in New York growing up. So
being already insecure, afraid, and shy, and not talking to people, came into this big, massive school, which kids are very cruel. So my life totally, I dove into darkness, sadness, and I stayed away. I didn't go to school. I cut all the time. And through those moments, I remember now that I always had the relationship with God, but I didn't know, but I knew He was there, but I didn't know Him. I felt Him. So I remember one point my mom got a letter from school saying that I'm absent. And my mom is like, what is this? Da, da, da. And my mom and dad dove themselves into work so they can support the family. So they wasn't there, So I cut. And so when my mom asked me, I said, oh, Mom, I probably was sitting in a wrong chair. And so they believed me because I don't think they even had a clue that Ida would do such a thing like that. I dove into my sadness, to my fear, to my everything. So that really took over my life. So if I think right now the way I should have thought then, I would have conquered it and not allowed it. But I didn't. I had no clue, no understanding of how I should protect myself or whatever. Instead, I allowed my thoughts to control my feelings, to control my fear and everything. I didn't even finish school. 10th grade, I said, I don't want to go to school. I begged my parents. Then my parents were like, okay, what do you want to do? And, my mom was like, what are you going to do? Da, da, da. And I always did my mom's hair when she went out for something. She goes, why don't you just go to beauty school, Ida? You want to do that? And I said, sure. But I felt good because I was doing something. I didn't have ridicules. I didn't have this and that because we were all learning the same thing and I loved it and it worked. My mom always wanted to go back to Lebanon. So when we went there, she realized, oh my God, America was good. What happened? So we came back. This time we came back to California. But before coming to California, I met my ex-husband. In 3 months, I met him. We got married. And before my parents moved, me and him, my ex-husband, moved to California. Worst thing I've ever done. But I stayed 17 years with him. But he picked up my insecurity. He picked up my my struggle to speak.
I got to know her husband for a short time when we first moved out here. And he spoke a little bit about their relationship. And he was very protective also, as he put it. We in the States here might call it even abusive. I say that because I found out later when I got real close to him that he would monitor mileage on the car.
She wouldn't go visit her parents.
How many miles she was logging. She was forbidden to see her own parents by her husband. In his mind, he was protecting her from bad influences.
My ex threatened me because I wanted to leave, threatened me. He had brought machete into the house. So there was a lot of threat, fear from him. I couldn't speak to him. Every time I wanted to say something, I wanted to say, please listen to me, please understand me. You know how when you're in the snow and you're cold and your mouth shivers? That's how it was. Every time when I want to speak to him, my mouth, this part, shivered. We're supposed to boost each other up, and he's always bringing me down. Well, 17 years of that. I have my wonderful 3 children.
Happiest moment I would have to say was our birthdays. Yeah, we always had a big parties.
Yeah, growing up. Well, not growing up when we were young, but I mean, even when we grew up, we still did a lot of big birthdays, but on our own. But back then, it was the moms planning it for us. So yeah, we had a lot of.
So it was cool. We had the big house, the big yard, the pool, diving board, slide. We had a dog.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of times at my grandparents' apartment, and I remember like times when I can barely talk. They were asking me to say certain words because I said them funny, and I remember this one moment that they were telling me to say grape in Armenian, which is chagol, but I couldn't say the pronunciation, which I'm sure if I asked you, you probably wouldn't be able to do that either. But I would say agol, like, you know, which is kind of weird because I didn't use the first letter, but anyway, so they would get a kick out of it or whatever, and that's one of my earliest memories, like if you want to talk about in general, yeah.
Fast forward, my father passed away. That woke me up into, wow, this is, one day you're here, the next day you're not gone, you're not here. My dad. And it really shifted my way of thinking. And then I decided, that's it, no matter what, I'm gonna leave this man.
I wasn't happy, but I was happy for her in a sense that she was becoming her own person. She was learning that she could do things on her own.
She came out of her shell.
She was coming out of the shell, and she always underestimated herself. I thought anyway, and I know she does.
We didn't realize what a shitty guy he was, you know? So, I mean, now we realize a lot more. Like, he basically, like, I mean, he wanted to throw all his rage at my mom for leaving him, but yet he also messed up our lives, you know? Like, he messed up her credit, you know, so that affected us with just a lot of things, so.
Yeah, because we go from this, you know, big nice house to this little confined apartment, 3 of us sharing 1 bedroom.
No privacy, nothing, it's crazy.
I started thinking about it. But when I started thinking about it, I'm thinking, okay, I can't really speak. I can't read and write. I didn't know what checkbook looked like. I didn't even know how to write it. How am I gonna go by myself? And how am I gonna raise these 3 children? How am I gonna do this and that, all that?
You would see the pain in her face sometimes, and we didn't make it any easier on her either, I'm sure. You know, I had a lot of responsibility on my end because I had to raise my sisters while she was out working and stuff, so already at the age of 13, I was taking on like a parental type of role.
Yeah, it affected me, I think, the most out of us 3. I was a troublemaker, I didn't listen to anything, I ran away, I did the whole, I guess, the youngest child would do, I mean, you would think, so.
Well, when Aida was first moving on her own, she had her own special angel living with her, which was her son, Jack. Being young, very young teenager himself, I think. I don't know how old was he.
He became
13,
a big
14.
brother and father.
He became a big brother and father and a helper and a babysitter for Aida, so she can go and work and provide for her family.
One night I remember very, very specifically, I cried out to God and I said, "Dear Lord, you just have to be here with me. If you're not with me, I cannot do this. Therefore, I need you." 6 months I stayed and saved money so I can rent an apartment. And I did say to Jack, I said, "Jack, I can't." He goes, "I'm with you, Mom."
She said, "This is what I'm thinking, you know, but I won't be able to do it without your support. You know, what do you think?" And that's kind of when I told her, and I already knew what was going on with the family. I already knew they were always, you know, constantly fighting, and it was getting to the point where it was getting physical. So, you know, I told her right there, I go, you know, I'm with you. So, do what you have to do.
I looked for a job, and when I found a job, I was as a hairdresser. From 6 I'm out of the house, I come 9 in the evening. I wasn't even there for my babies. So they lost mom and they lost dad.
I think she felt like she really needed the help, which at that time she did. We were only like 6 and 7 years old. Unfortunately, Jack was like in his teenage years, trying to grow up, do his own thing, but she just asked him, like to help her with us. But I think, I don't know, you can't ask a teenager to help you whether they know what to do or not, but he just became more strict about it. Just very like a overprotective brother, father figure. But growing up, I think we realized like it was probably a good thing. It was definitely a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't fun, like having rules, but it helped us become who we are.
So it was pretty tough on all of us, My sisters probably didn't feel as much of it because they were so young, but then growing up, they probably, I'm sure they realized, what she had to do. But I still don't feel that, including myself, we don't give her enough gratitude for what she does, and it's hard, growing up without the parent being there all the time. You don't get that nurturing, that loving when you need it. So I feel like a lot of us kind of are distant because of that fact. And right now, kind of one of her main focus things is to bring us back together as a family, and she's having a hard time doing that now.
When the kids they became teenagers, it was so hard. It was so hard because Jack will say something, and he was my babysitter. I would say, Jack, so tell him to take a bath. Okay, Mom. He became my babysitter, my rock. At 16, 17, he had enough of being, caretaker. So I said, you know what? You are not their mom and dad, whatever. You're right. I let him go, let him be himself, and I just try to be there for the girls.
I think, when I look at like friends that might have like kind of have it all, have like the 2 parents and the 2 incomes and a house and a car and this, I feel like almost I'm very lucky to not have had a lot of that. Sorry, I'm a crybaby. In a way, like we're very blessed, and I value things a lot better by not having to understand you need to work for something, you need to be independent, and you can't rely on anybody but your family, and sometimes those people aren't there for you either. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like she's super mom. She's the hero with, her disability and, her not being able to read or write, and, that a lot of things, she can't do a lot of things, a lot of jobs. She can't just walk into any job and say, I'm going to fill out this application and do that, because she can't even do that most of the time. But it's one of those, like, I can't help but look at her and be like, for me, it's more like if my mom could do it, I could do it. I wouldn't change it, basically. I wouldn't want it any other way. Yeah.
So my kids, so far so good. They didn't come home pregnant, which is, I used to say, if you do something wrong, you have to answer to your brother. I felt like he's the rock. But because I allowed Jack to be on his own at 16, that rock disappeared. I asked him, and he goes, I have nothing to do with them because they're not doing the way I'm asking or I'm telling, and you're not backing me up. I wasn't backing Jack up. But I was. He didn't know that because he stayed away. Every time it was, I don't want your brother coming to me saying, see, I told you so. So that kept them away from, I'm hoping to go ahead or maybe get pregnant or whatever. And I used to say, dear Lord, you know, the waves, please keep them away from me and not my children. Use me, dear Lord. Use me to glorify you. Use me to present to you. Use me to where I can bring my children to you. I don't want to come to you until I bring my babies to you. So my babies became my dive into my Lord. In my Jesus Christ became my mentor.
Lord, humbly I pray for your grace another day. Sometimes it's hard to lift my head, Lord, as long as you're with me, I know that I will be able to handle everything, 'cause there is no shame on me. Lord, you took everything. Righteousness flows from thee. It was your gift to me. Lord, I lift up this day. Lord, you show me your way. Make everything I say bring glory to your name.
I had a client that I was going to her house to do her hair. She was almost like in her 80s and wonderful, wonderful lady. She had a daughter that lived separate, another house, which she was disabled from her leg down. Fast forward, mom got deteriorated, she passed away. Before she passed away, she introduced me to her daughter. We went to her daughter's house. You know, she was hospitality was good, but I noticed that she can't walk. She has to hold on to things to walk. The more I investigated what I can do for her, how I can help her, the worse she got towards me. I've got, who the heck do you think you are? You're Ethiopian trash, she used to say to me. You're a sweeping girl. You think you know? What are you doing here? I'm like, if I can help you, I want to help you. And I used to come home and say, I don't understand. I'm trying to help her, and I'm getting this bombarded target of tongue, evil.
I mean, I know the other lady wasn't all there, you know, but the way she was treating my mom and just the way everything happened, and I saw the craziness, I just was like, is it even worth it? Like, why are you putting yourself in that situation?
Yeah, it's kind of like taking on a job, for a psychiatrist. You know, you deal with these things and you take it home with you. And I don't feel I'm that strong of a person inside to probably do that. It would totally affect me. And here she is, you know, doing those things. And I'm like, how are you that strong? Like, I can't. I wouldn't be able to.
Because I promised her mom I'll be there for her, I couldn't back off the promise. And I started saying, okay, what is mental illness? So I dove myself into NAMI. NAMI is a nationwide mental illness awareness thing. There is mental illness. We all have it. You're not alone, but you can conquer it. Yeah, medication helps, but mentally it's different when you renew your mind. Or face it, yes, I have it, you know. Through that I found myself also. Through that I said, oh, That's why I'm going crazy. That's why they put me. And I'm like, this is lacking in my brain. Come in and fix it for me instead of putting me down. And I'm saying to myself, wow, look at all this the things that I'm capable of. Because of this little thing, it denied me. It put me in a position where I allowed my own thoughts, their thoughts to come into my thought, and my thought put me into darkness. I allowed that. It's me. So now I say, I have this mental illness, and the only way I came out of it is when I started leaning on my Creator. If you realize your children, something is going on, address it, find out, bring it out, bring the good quality. So what? She has or he has something. Years and years ago, if you were blind, you were not normal. But one person came out and said, hey, I'm blind, but look what I can do. Leave me alone. Now it's accepted. The same thing, mental illness. Let's address it. Let's fix it. Let's boost it up. And that person, that mental illness person, will get a boost, will be happy instead of being sad, and let that sadness overwhelm him or her and act upon it. When I discovered and I saw the light, it was at the park, which I always go over there to give me time to be with my Creator in my thoughts and spend time with Him and share, regular prayer. And so I always say I'm not a religion, I'm a relationship. So, I was there. I was over there crying out, and I'm going, dear Lord, how do I do this? How do I connect with them? All these things I'm going through my head, and all of a sudden I heard, Aida, seek me. I'm like, what? Seek me? Okay. And when I heard him, that's when I said, oh my God. And a lot of flashback came into my head, which the molestation when I was young, that came into my head. And I'm saying, and I'm talking to him, I'm saying, why am I remembering this now? What? No wonder, dear Lord, you were always there with me. When he was, I remember him taking me, and all that was gone in my head. Now you're bringing back to make me realize you were there. You protected me by not making me remember that. Because a lot of women or a lot of children that they go through what I went through, it haunts them for the rest of their life. They see that vision, they see that thing all the time. I know, and I know that I know I am transformed from inside out. When I saw the light, when I started that transformation, the things that I thought that it's not so bad, it's not a bad thing, it just eliminated without me struggling to eliminate it. It just, oh, I don't need to do that. That's not making me happy.
My mom has the biggest heart out of anybody. The things she does, I don't know how she does it.
I went every Monday from 1 to either 2 or 3 in the kitchen, prepare stuff, and then feed the homeless. I did about 6 years like that. Then my work changed and I couldn't go there anymore. Fast forward, I often go exercising. One day, my son and I were gonna go somewhere. There's a park next to the house. I never went exercising there. But in this particular time, I said, Jack, I want to do my exercise. Since we have time, I'll go to the park, do the exercise, and then we'll go. He said, okay, Mom. When my children were little, they used to go to work and pass this homeless guy. And they always came and told me, Mom, I spoke to the homeless guy. Lisa did, my little one, she did a book report on him. She was like 10, 11 years old. She went to him and she talked to him and she got this interview for the school.
We saw him every day from school. We would talk to him. He would,
all the kids would talk to him.
Yeah.
Everyone would talk to him.
I didn't think of him as a homeless person, to be honest. Like he was normal to me. Like I didn't think anything different.
Years later, she's 21 now, and that time, I went to that exercise. I went to one lap, and I passed him. He lives in a van. And ding, in my head, a thought came in. And at that time, I didn't think, but I know now it was God, of course. And he said, go say hi to him. Remember, remember my daughter, Lisa. I still passed him. I ignored that thought. It did say again, go. I ignored it again. But as I went a couple of feet, I said, okay, I'm not going to go. Okay, dear Lord, And I came back, I swear. I came back and I said, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm so-and-so, and I just wanted to see if you remember my daughter, she did book report on you. She goes, of course I remember her. I went, wow, awesome, everything. And I said to him, I just wanted to share that with you. Are you okay? Is everything okay? Can I do anything for you? As I was leaving, I mentioned it again. Then he goes, you know what? Okay, maybe you can go shopping for me. I said, good.
On the weekly basis, like getting him his groceries and dealing with what people might say about him, or dealing with his, disability. And sometimes she talks about it, and sometimes I have to make her stop because I'm too sensitive to it. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. It's gonna ruin my day. Mm-hmm. But she takes it and somehow grows stronger from it, and in a good way.
There's things that we conversate with each other. I have more stimulated conversation with him than any human being that's around me. One person, and I don't care. I'm helping one person. That's a divine intervene for me. That's God's work. Other than that, you tell me, non-believer, what is it? Coincidence? I don't think so. Coincidence, bad or good, the good one is God's work, the bad one is the evil work. Bottom line, that's what I absorbed. That's my journey. My journey brought me to my Lord. My journey brought me to recognize Him. And then when He does things, He answers my prayers. That's when I look up and I say, dear Lord, this is why I believe you, because you just revealed to me by what happened. Then we do good things, and we'll try to do the good thing. That doesn't mean I'm holy. That doesn't mean because I know the Lord I'm not sinning. Excuse me, I do. That doesn't mean that I'm not lying. Excuse me, I do. But I come and I go, dear Lord, please forgive me for the things I know that I'm doing and it's not good for you in your eyes. Eliminate that, help me eliminate it. And the things that I don't know. So without knowing, we're doing things that is not good in his eyes, but he's not condemning. You're condemning me. I'm condemning you. So what makes me holy to condemn you? I leave you alone. You leave me alone. The only one I answer to is my Creator, our God. He's the one who's going to judge me, not you. You want to judge me? Have fun.
I wish for her to be able to recognize her own ability. She has confidence, but she needs more confidence in herself and in her abilities, and recognize that, you know, what she accomplished on her own.
Yes, it's true when you have the God in your side and you pray it, that spiritual strength is very powerful. We all have these abilities of being scared. Different levels. We have to work on ourselves, how to overcome.
I just want her to be happy, whatever it takes, you know. Different strokes for different folks, as they say. So I wish her the best. She deserves it.
I want to die knowing that my babies, I have told them that you guys will conquer with each other with love.
What I see or would like to see, here I go again because I'm a baby, for my mom to get everything she's always wanted. She wants a house and she wants to travel, and I want to be the one who's able to give her those things. It's just hard to see her struggling all the time. She could never catch a break in it, but yet she's the happiest person ever.
I'm coming in that serene life where if somebody comes and tells me, hey Ida, guess what? So-and-so was gossiping about you. Now I'm like, really? I go, here, I'll give you some more, go have fun. And I'm so happy.
She's absolutely amazing. And every day I find myself a little bit more like her, and I love it. And she's come a very, very, very long way from how she used to be even, and it's absolutely amazing.
I often say, I don't even know if I'm going hell or heaven. I don't care. I live on hell earth with heaven mind. So when I picked up heaven mind, I'm the happiest person in the world. I look around me and I do say, oh my God, thank you, dear Lord. I truly am right now the happiest person in the world. We live in the moment. We can't do nothing about the past. We cannot do nothing about the forward. But with the past, we can learn how we can connect to go forward. And that's love. And that's Jesus Christ.
It is important to stick together. It is important to keep the love We don't have it now. And sorry, man. Love is really important. And I see like other families who have that love and they're successful because of that, you know, like not just financially, but they're surrounded with great people. They're surrounded with all the love. With us, because we're so distant, we don't have that support for each other, and you can see it and you feel it. But that's the biggest advice I can give. Let the love conquer everything else. Like, stick together, be together. I do want us to be closer. I do want us to have our days again, because we used to have a family day where nobody planned anything else, and it was just us. It's really tough now because everyone has different schedules, you know, with work and, of course, you know, wanting to lead your own life. And now that I'm engaged as well, time is more scarce than ever. But if we can, I would love to bring us all back together and have those days again.
We walked through valleys and we've walked on mountaintops, looking for rivers. Once we almost stopped, but we kept on walking. We felt the hunger and we felt the pain, thirsting for water and praying for rain. I'm glad